thriving U.S. cities and the worth of social networking sites. These are just some of the topics we're breaking down today with the Watchdog on Wall Street, Chris Markowski. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. I think that guy needs a GPS. You guys were talking about that a little bit earlier.
He needs to find his sanity is what he needs to do. All right, let's talk about some of these struggling U.S. cities. Detroit, one of them.
Yes.
They have a $300 million deficit. The solution, some people are saying, let's crank out the bulldozers.
I agree 110%. Mayor Dave Bing is doing a great job there in that city trying to revitalize it. The reality is that you have blighted areas. You're not having people move back to these areas. Knock the buildings down. Turn it back to nature. It's fine. Hey, you may make Al Gore happy for a little while, okay? But when you have all these areas and there's too much of a supply and people are not moving into them, why not turn it back to farmland?
So you think actually shrinking these cities, shrinking these neighborhoods will actually help them survive?
Well, it's like anything else, a business or whatever it may be. McDonald's, for the longest period of time, expanded all over the world. Then they kind of realized, oh, we went too far. We had to actually cut some stores. Starbucks. Cities have to do that as well. Detroit is no longer the motor city that it once was. When auto dealerships come to the United States, they're setting up in the South, whether it be Hyundai and BMW, Kia, whatever it may be. So, you know, maybe it's time to downsize.
And I guess it would make sense because you're spending so much money on fire patrols, on police departments, all these services that just end up costing the city a lot of money.
Yeah, and I think Detroit should be a model. I think that a lot of areas around the country need to do the exact same thing.
Okay, well, let's go from struggling economies, struggling cities, to cities that are actually thriving in this recession. There's 10 of them right now. You're seeing them on your TV screen. Washington, D.C., Boston,
now, why do you think
Houston.
Washington, D.C. is thriving right now?
I would say something with government jobs.
They're not spending any taxpayers' money there. No.
Well, let's talk about this because there's cities all over the country that are thriving. 4 of them I noticed on this TV screen in Texas. So what's going on? Why are these cities successful?
Texas, low taxes, low regulation. You tend to see a lot of these cities that are doing well are in states where it's a good place to open up and start a business. Texas being one of them. Other states, Minnesota's doing well because of some of their anti-regulatory things, and they also have a great university system. The states that are doing poor, you got to take a look, tend to be ones with high regulation and high taxes. You know, if you're a business, I don't care if you're coming from China, Japan, or you're brand new, you want to start up in an area where, you know what, you've got a bright population, where you have access to universities, and you also have that ability to start your business without the threat of government intervention.
Well, I bet a lot of the people living in those thriving cities are plugged in online, talking about Facebook, Twitter. Let's talk about the worth of these social networking sites that are so popular right now.
Well, it's interesting that you guys are bringing this up right now, is simply because you're looking at 10 years ago as of yesterday, was the collapse of the dot-com bubble. Remember Pets.com and Webvan and Cosmo and all these various different things. There's a lot of great ideas out there that just may never make any money. Now you take a look at Facebook and Twitter.
They're making money.
Well, a little bit. I mean, do they worth their valuations? They're private companies, okay, but are they going to be able to come to the public marketplace and be able to have a business plan that's going to survive for the long term? How is YouTube going to make money? They have to find a way to monetize these various different businesses.
Okay, well, Chris, thank you so much for this.
Hey, if it's about money and it's making news, you know, we got you covered. Here to break down all the big stories of the week is the Watchdog on Wall Street, Chris Markowski. Good morning, Chris.
Can't top the pillow stories.
You can't. You don't want to top the pillow stories. No, you don't. Those aren't pillows. Remember that line? All right, so, well, I got to talk about this. This is serious stuff here. We got a report on the state of retirement savings in this country. I'm going to throw a couple numbers at you, and I want your reaction. 43% say they have saved less than $10,000. 27% say they have saved less than $1,000 for their retirement, and 24% of workers say they've postponed their retirement age.
This is kind of a bit of a wake-up call to many people out there. I want everybody to understand that Social Security and Medicare have about $100 trillion in unfunded liabilities, so I strongly suggest saving. People let it go all the time. I don't have to worry about it. I'll let it go.
It's almost like,
yeah, oh, I don't have to worry. Yeah, no big deal. I can't tell you how many times I go into these various different 401k meetings. People opt out. They decide not to do it. You got to be insane. You're going to rely upon the government for your retirement. You need to start saving. You need to count it as almost like a bill every single month and pay yourself.
Okay. And now we'll talk about the different ways that people save, because, you know, you hear 401k, you hear Roth, you hear savings accounts, you hear stocks. What's the best approach?
Well, if the business that you're working for allows for you to put money into a 401k, do so. Billions of dollars are thrown away every single year by people who don't put money into a 401k. Therefore, they don't get the employer match That's money. It's free money that you're giving up.
Now, what about a lot of the companies have gone away with the match, done away with the match?
Still. I mean, you're still lowering your top line income. You're allowing those assets to grow tax-free until you retire. Take advantage of it.
Okay, no, we got to talk about Bank of America because they are ending their overdraft fees, but as basically required by law. But the way they're doing that is they're going to be denying these.
Cut people off.
Yeah, if you go in and you try to swipe your card and you don't have the money in the account, it's just a transaction denied.
Now, if people actually get upset in regards to something like this, is just, quite frankly, mind-boggling to me, okay? You get upset because they're charging an overdraft fee because you spent too much money. Now you're going to get upset, because they're going to cut you off.
Right.
Crazy.
And by the way, 14% of customers account for 93% of overdraft fees. So it's the same people that are doing this all the time, and this is likely just going to help them to stop, doing what they shouldn't be doing in the first place.
Well, yeah, just get overdraft protection. That's basically what you have to do.
You spend on makeup to the richest person in the world. We're tackling these topics with the Watchdog on Wall Street, Chris Markowski. Hey, Chris.
Good morning.
Okay, so a woman in her lifetime, $13,000 on makeup.
Didn't surprise me. Honestly,
Yeah.
It really didn't. I think that's well within reason. You can add up
But
shoes.
still, when you first hear 13,000, I think the number's kind of staggering for most.
Well, I've done my little lessons here on the show about compounding interest and saving a little bit of money
That you
over
have.
time. That's some of the things you need to understand. If you could just cut a little bit out and save a little bit more, you'll be doing fine.
Okay, let's take a look at how it all breaks down. Women in a lifetime spend $1,500 on lipstick, $3,100 on mascara, $2,200 on eyeshadow. You think this all makes sense?
I think, well, if it makes you happy. How much do it cost for razors for men? Those sensor razors?
They're really expensive.
They're really
Even
expensive.
when you go to
Yeah.
Costco and buy them in bulk, they're
Yeah,
pricey.
you got it.
So that's and your
So it
guys'
doesn't
tennis
surprise me.
shoes.
Yeah, tennis shoes.
Guys always say the kicks. They spend a lot of money on shoes.
Not in my hood, Holly. Sorry, kicks.
Okay, well, I've heard of it. I don't think that's that outlandish to say. Okay, but talking about this
I'm showing
makeup.
my age.
All right, well, let's talk about the makeup and the fact that even though, there's some products that are very expensive, though. So you would say instead of maybe going to Sephora and buying designer products, you can go to the drugstore and get things that are comparable.
Oh, absolutely, but we've done this here, and we talked about coffee and how much people spend on coffee over the course of a month. Or if you've got a bad habit like cigarettes, if you can start taking that money and putting it away and compounding that interest over time, you can be a very wealthy person.
Well, someone who's saved his money, the richest person in the world's been named. First time since '94. Has it been an American?
Yes, Mexico. Dora the Explorer won. Big year for Dora, Boots.
Okay, we're
Diego, they did real well this past year.
Carlos Slim.
Yes.
Okay, let me mention this. His net worth is up $18.5 billion in 12 months.
Well, he owns Telefones to Mexico, which is, he basically controls all the phones in Mexico, internet access. Anybody who's actually gone to Mexico knows that, make sure that you're not doing any roaming charges there because you're going to get banged over the head. So he's doing quite well.